couple of weeks ago, Shift Nation, we did if birth months were red flags. They weren't like really that negative. It was more just quite revealing. Do we remember? Do we remember that?
I remember thinking I was a March baby, and then September came up, and I was like, no, I'm definitely September.
I know on social, it's so interesting. It did really well on socials, and it's kind of reminded me that, you know, when things are written well and it actually hits, like
It's
people,
direct,
it's you know, you want to hear the truth. We want to hear the truth, right?
I think now is a particularly powerful time. As people are dealing with so much in the world, they look elsewhere for distraction. And I feel like these kinds of things are massive. I read something the other day too.
The right distraction.
Yeah, true. Is it Lafufus?
Labubu.
Labubu, sorry. The Labubus, apparently the entire phase around that is when you hit a recession.
Mark, you mean one of these ones? Oh, you mean one of these ones?
Where did you get that from?
Well, I just get my
They're
hand.
impossible to get your hands on.
For some people, Mark.
He
For
just
some.
pulled a labubu out of his ass.
Oh, you mean one of these, Mark?
How did you get that?
I didn't tell my sources, brother.
What the hell?
I don't
That's
reveal
so-
my-
Don't chuck it like that.
How do you know? Oh, you didn't even know I was going to talk
Mark,
about
I'm in the
that.
know, brother. I'm in the know.
So these cost around $80
I'm gonna
New
open it.
Zealand.
Don't you dare touch that.
And it's a random choice.
I mean, don't touch it, brother.
It's random choice, right, as to what Labubu you get. And some of them are worth truckloads. If you get an elite one, it's truckloads. So people, instead of being consumed by the price of things left, right, and center, they're making these investments in things like the Labubu and hoping it's like a lotto ticket to a certain extent, or it's like something that's distracting away from your current financial place. But those things are so rare. How did you get your...
Excuse me, get your grubby little hands off that.
Apparently the creator of these are set to make 1.4 billion in the next.
Yeah, you just got to have the thing.
This will take
get
him,
the
this will
thing
cost him
and then-
$4 to make. The upsell,
Yep.
he's cracked it.
And you think about back in the day when Pokemon was a thing and people were like
man.
making the Pokemon cards and you got your hands on one of
Pokemon's
those
still a thing though.
That's what I mean though,
It's
but it
crazy.
revisits. So in around 10, 15 years, the Labubu craze could revisit, and if you're holding on to an elite one,
So I just
people
keep-
pay through the roof
Should
for
we
it.
not open it? Or should
This
we
isn't
open it?
even yours. Shut up. Anyway, guys, 3, 2, 1, deep
don't
breath. Exhale. I would like to talk about green flags for your birth month. We've covered red flags. That's done. Let's talk about
We're wholesome, brother.
the wholesome, positive, beautiful things about us.
Good vibes.
January, are you ready?
Mom spaghetti.
Jan, you're the one who keeps their word. No need for reminders. You listen fully, you speak honestly, and show up with intention. You remember birthdays, bad days, and little things no one else catches. People feel safe around you because they know you mean it. With you, loyalty isn't an act. It's just who you are.
Oh, that's so true. I'm thinking about the jam baby that I know.
But that's why I'm friends with
Spot
Aquarius.
on.
That's why I'm friends with Aquarius bros. Like 3 of my best mates are Aquarius.
Oh, spot on.
They're good.
And they know everyone's birthday and they know people's cell phone numbers too.
That's hot.
Yeah.
February. You love like it's a secret worth protecting. Not loud, not flashy, just deeply real. You speak through small gestures, not grand declarations. You make people feel chosen even in silence, because your love isn't for everyone, it's for the ones who stay.
Chosen even in silence.
February. March. You bring energy that can't be bottled. Ideas fly, laughter follows, and somehow you still stay grounded. You turn what if into why not, and make everything feel possible again. People feel more alive around you because you never stop believing in the spark.
That's Neeks. Neeks the March baby.
It's the March baby.
Yeah.
April. You feel everything, and that's your magic. You don't hide your highs or your heartbreaks. You cry hard, you laugh louder, you love the hardest. Your heart is wide open, even when it's bruised. And that vulnerability, it's what makes you unforgettable. Glad I'm not April. What?
Nah, that's a good one, man. That's a good
Yeah,
one.
bro, here's what's good about you. Bang.
Nah, that's a good one, man. There's so much strength in that.
Nah, no, 100%.
Yes,
Don't do me
that's
like
so
that.
good.
Oh, yeah, it's good. Of course it's
Alright.
good. I'm just being a little joke. May. Next. June.
No.
May. You're the balance in a world that tips too easily.
Did you write this yourself? This guy wrote his own.
Sorry, I missed that. Say that again.
I'm not writing this myself. That's facts. Oh, shit. I'm born in May. May. You're the balance in a world that tips too easily. Patient, kind, and grounded in your truth. You don't need the spotlight. You are the steady rhythm behind the scenes. People breathe easier around you because with you, everything just settles.
You should have said the steady river. You should have taken that. We wouldn't have looked it up.
Your
You
truth.
should have closed your mouth. June. You are joy poured into a person. Bars. Your hugs are safe places and your presence feels like home. You light up rooms just by being real. People don't forget how you made them feel because you remind them that softness is strength. That's my dad, bro. June.
How good is a good hug too? You know those hugs that feel empty? You're like, ooh. You get a good one? Someone who can give a good hug? 2 thumbs up.
Facts. July. Your fire and devotion. You stand tall for what you love and fight quietly for who you believe in. You're not loud, but your loyalty echoes. People trust you with their hearts because you guard them like your own.
It's my wife. Oh. Annoying, man.
It's a vault, baby, locked down.
Yeah, so right though.
August. Last time August red flags, that was rough.
It was revealing.
We love you, August. August, you walk in like you've already won,
Oh.
but never make others feel small.
That's a hard balance to get right.
You inspire without trying. You're the friend who dreams big and delivers. Your presence is a mix of power and kindness, and when you lead, others rise with you. Let's go, August!
Power and
Shout out
kindness?
to August!
Leading with power and kindness?
Others rise with you?
Bang!
Because
Fill 'em with the kindness,
last time we
baby.
did this, you went down. September.
I'm listening.
Kia ora, Brook Roscoe. You're a planner with a poet's heart.
Hey, that's crazy.
Planner?
Poet? Actually, no. Can we actually lock in?
Okay,
I don't
sorry.
want to. We didn't shit on the other months.
Yeah, true.
This is actually good. September. You're a planner with a poet's heart. You notice what others miss. You're the reason someone felt.
I can't get past the first part, but the second part, I have a heart. Like, I have a heart, so I do agree with that second part, but that first part, I just got to...
Lock in.
Guys, can we lock in?
Sorry.
Bro, we're clocking in right now. We don't do that. We lock in. We don't clock in. September. You're a planner with a poet's heart. You notice what others miss. You're the reason someone felt understood today. Behind your calm is a mind that never stops caring. You don't just keep things running. You keep people going.
Oh, yeah, they saved it at the end. I do agree with it. If you want a photo with any 3 of us, I'll stop and take the photo. These 2 keep walking.
I've lost my hearing. I didn't even hear them ask.
I hate people. That was a joke. Kind of. October.
Lock in!
October. You're the mystery people want to unravel. Calm on the outside, galaxies within. You bring deep thoughts, late night talks, and the kind of presence that lingers. You don't demand attention, but you leave an impression that's hard to forget.
Damn, how good is October and when you're sending it? Late night conversation.
Winter, come here. This
Bender.
is my November
This
baby.
is
This is my little November baby.
Neff, you got galaxies inside?
Come on, baby.
The depth.
November, baby. Here we go.
Oh, November.
He's November.
I was just gassing him up. I thought he was October.
I did hear
You
that.
don't have galaxies. Winter. Kia ora, boy.
Kia ora, uncle.
Kia ora. You're November. Here we go. November. You don't say much, but when you do, it matters. You're the type who listens until people feel seen. Loyal, thoughtful, and slow to judge. Winter, you show up without asking for thanks because love to you is quiet devotion. That's who you're going to be.
Thank you, uncle.
That's why you got green pants, the green flags. You're welcome.
Come on now.
December. You're the spark in cold places. A storyteller, a giver, a collector of moments. You know how to turn a random Tuesday into a celebration. With you, even the ordinary feels magic because you believe life should feel like something.
December.
I'm gonna go get a December friend. I want a Tuesday party.
I'm out shopping for an October friend.
Give me a jam.
Galaxies inside.
Yeah, give me
And
January. Actually a bit of October. Manu's in the
You know
deep.
what we
eh?
do? Yeah, you know what we need to do? We need to have like a real private party and be real selective of what months we bring along. And we just have one person from that month. And then we have that party
See if they hold up
and see if they hold up.
Yeah, true.
on both sides. Good and bad.
Well, we've got to hold up our month. Man, I love those things. I love them so much.
Yeah, same.
Such a cool distraction.
The way you just laughed at me,
Poet.
that was crazy.
An organised poet, was it?
You okay?
Not really. And the
What do you need to hear in this moment? Because you'll say something, but you don't want us to apologize either. So you
do
give
you
us
know
a
in
dead
this
end.
moment?
You give us a dead end, and then you go, "Nah, don't worry."
I'd like you to apologize.
Okay. Brooke, in the spirit of the way that we were reading those, we did not give that energy to your birth month, and that was unfair, and I apologize about that.
Can I be honest with you?
Yes.
It wasn't even you. It was that one over there.
Exactly. So why are you looking at me for the apology?
You're right.
I'm not saying sorry.
There we go. Watch out for those ones. Hey, it's a life lesson right there, eh? Watch out for those ones over there. Hey, my son.
He's in November. I'm November. We're both.
Hang on.
Damn it! Damn it!
Hang on. This is how this play.
What's the November reference?
You're the type who listens until people feel seen. That wasn't a very feeling. He doesn't feel seen after you not apologizing for that.
Keep reading that too, actually. Let's keep going.
Because love to you is quiet devotion. Oh, yeah. He didn't want to talk. Okay,
Oh, I
guys.
love this.
Hey, that's green flags. I've actually, Mato Mark sent me another. It's not like flags. It's a prompt in ChatGPT.
Oh, no.
And I was reading mine, and then I read your guys, and I was like, you know what? I'd like to read it for a random shifter. You know, like let's make it outward. We don't need we don't need everyone to know like who we really are.
Our dirty laundry's all out there for you to see.
I don't mind people thinking they know me, but when you actually know me, then we got problems. Okay.
They gotta start calling you your nickname soon.
Me and Nat did it the other night, and she was like, "Wow, I've never. What was the prompt?" I was like, "Nah. I got the prompt." Anyway, guys, green flags. We love you.
Shift Nation, over the weekend, I found myself on Reddit.
It's a good app.
I haven't been on Reddit in so long. It's a great app.
Hard to keep fact checking on Reddit. I find it stressful.
Everywhere though, that's everywhere.
It is everywhere.
Honestly,
Reddit for some reason though, Reddit, if you're looking for something, you can type it in, and if it just pops up on Reddit, you know it's probably not right.
That's everywhere, Mark. Come on now.
Really?
Is it a dying
Everywhere.
thing? Like, is it a thing from our generation? Is
TikTok, Instagram, Reddit. It's all part of the psyop.
Hendo, you use Reddit. I don't know if the younger generation are using Reddit.
No, I think some are.
Real?
Yeah.
I kind of felt like I was out of the loop because I hadn't been there in a while. It's kind of like Facebook. You know, when you go Facebook.
Oh my
for a while?
god, I went on it's not Twitter anymore.
X.
Oh, how trash has X got now?
It's a bit naughty, eh?
It is
Really?
terrible.
How?
I saw the B's and the J's just happening, and
Bro, it's
That's
the
yours.
worst.
That's informed by
reflection
your
of me.
search bar.
Why
Don't
did I
stop
say that?
talking. Stop
Holy.
talking.
I mean,
Stop talking.
What, banana and jam? Is it really informed by my social? Neeks, this ain't negative on socials, right? This is just for people listening
Let's not do that.
on the podcast. Anyway, what I did find myself across was, what's the weirdest advice you heard that's strangely effective?
Oh.
And there was a couple in here. Well, there's actually a few in here. So I want
I've
to.
given some weird advice that was effective.
Yeah. What do we have any right now before we jump into this, or maybe have a think? Because
Nah, let's get inspired.
all right, let's start with this then. To improve your posture, pretend that you're shooting lasers out of your nipples and trying to shoot people in the head.
Wow.
Dead ass though.
Headshot to Mark right now.
But how bad is everyone's posture, by the way? Mine is terrible.
great.
Yeah, my lumbar, my lower back is constantly sore. 'cause
And we're tall. I'm gonna get hunchbacks when I'm older.
I feel like
Notre Dame.
spending so much time looking down too, right? Yeah, I got the worst.
I still go to Kendall, our
How's that?
local, He's a chiropractor. He says if you don't keep moving those parts, right, the hunchbacks comes over, and your spine starts, not calcifies is the wrong word, but it does start to grow over the spine if you don't keep it straight. So all of a sudden bone grows in between, and it's not a good thing.
Aging, eh?
If they have, all this developing pharmaceutical injury
Preventive
industry, I'm taking those drugs later if they can make your spine correct and
I'm
you live
taking them all.
longer. I'm trying. If we can get there in a good way, I'd love to live to 100.
If I'm a healthy 87, I'm a vibrant, still waking up and getting a coffee.
If I'm a hunch 68-year-old, I'm out.
Yeah,
like 70,
I'm drawing the line
sorry.
early.
I want to hang out, but no, not that long.
In the meantime, shoot your nipples out. That's the best advice.
I hope someone is listening right now though and has a terrible posture and just has titties out all day. Just point those nipples out. This is a good one for this time of the year, especially if you're on this time of the world. How to unclog your nose. Got a bit of a runny nose, you got the sniffles. That's a bit of me at the moment. Close your mouth and pinch your nose so you can't breathe. It keeps going, don't just stop there. Shake your head up and down till you need to breathe. Remove your hand from your nose and breathe, and you should be able to breathe fairly efficiently. So you might look like a bit of a spastic. Never mind what's going on in your life, as long as you can breathe.
No, we're good.
That's part of the list I can't say?
It's not full circle yet. That moment hasn't happened yet. The word has not
I didn't know that was on the list. I didn't know that was on the list. My bad.
You mean to say elastic?
Elastic. Exactly.
It happens.
My bad. Holding your breath for I'll read this one out. Holding your breath for a prolonged time, extremely effective if you get rid of a boner. I think it's meant to say to help you get rid of a boner.
Been a while since I got. Yes.
So if you're in a, it's a funny thing, eh?
Our time is happening as
further and further apart.
Set.
It's a funny thing though. It used to just pop up to see what was going on all the time. Hello, what's happening?
I actually find if you just go to the bathroom and never mind. No, just cold air. Cold air gets it shy, and then it's done.
Actually, maybe don't.
No, but I don't think it's actually. Stay with me now. I don't think it's actually the hockey stick. It's when the jewels catch the cold air. That actually affects the arousal.
We still use the underwear elastics as a.
I'm so sorry.
It's almost like jail.
Like a tourniquet, if anything.
Get back here! What are you doing up there? Get out! This is my favorite. Swoop. I'll say that one more time. Holding your breath for a prolonged time is extremely effective.
You don't need to say it again.
At getting rid of a boner.
Good.
I also have a bunch more. Stay with me, Chef Nation.
I'm with you.
Stay bloody with me, all right? We're podcasting today. You want to fall asleep faster? Apparently, if you wear socks at night, it's extremely effective. I can't either, but I
do it.
There's nights where I'm just staring at the roof.
I can't do it.
Can't either. And what is it? Because I have cold extremities, and I still won't put socks on.
Well, I only like sleeping in the jocks, right? And it just feels like you just didn't get to that last step where you took your socks off.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So
yes.
It's just like
something isn't complete
get
in my
off
day.
Socks.
Yeah.
Get off.
I'm not ready to sleep yet. I've still got one other job I have to do. What was it? Take my socks off.
That's it.
I want to do something around people who sleep in the nude. What was the worst thing that happened? I feel like there's something there. I haven't quite fleshed that out, but
I like that. So like, when did you regret sleeping?
Yeah, you know, like there's something there. There's something sitting there.
Yeah. Like a rat. Masterful.
Absolutely.
Masterful podcasters right there. Guys, we just did a self-edit. All right? So that better be edited in.
I hope it's as good as it sounds in our head. Mm-hmm. Put a spoon in your mouth to stop hiccups. I can't stand hiccups.
Are you allowed to do that with newborns? Because my son's hiccups be pissing me off right at the moment. Like, bro, like 10 minutes. Get it out, bro.
And it gets worse too, bro. You think it's gone, it's back. That was Winter's big thing.
What is a hiccup? Why do we have a hiccup? Like, what? It's obviously some type of irritation. Your body's trying to tell you something. But man, they're so annoying.
It's a cup of I can't get it up. Hiccup. This is your break. You're making me go loopy, all right?
That was great. That was good. I liked that. Okay, we don't have much time left.
No, we do.
If you have anxiety, I don't know how this would help, but apparently it sounds gross, but studies suggest that the scent of your own sweat mainly around your armpits, will help you with anxiety.
That's weird. I thought you would just harden up.
No. I'm so. I hate this guy because I have anxiety.
That's a joke. It's bad, guys. Like, come on, we're a whānau, you know. I'm not being serious. Armpit.
Yeah, armpit. I didn't think this next one was serious, but apparently it is. It might sound like a bit childlike, but draw a hand on your face and talk to it when you feel lonely.
Is it the other way around? Draw a face on your hand?
See, this is where Reddit's taking the piss.
Draw a face on your right. What did I say? Draw a hand on your face.
Hey. Hey.
Oh, I got anxiety.
Hello. Hello, Han. I can't see you.
I've decided we're finished. That was
Reddit's a great website, by the way, I think.
I'm done. I've embarrassed myself enough to do. Bye-bye.
Brook, take the undies off now, please. That's enough. I don't want. We might actually be helping people here, and I don't want them to receive the best advice of their life while they're looking at you and your unducks on your head.
Just know while we're doing this, I'm free balling.
Shift Nation, yes, we have a lot of laughs. Yes.
Can we clear the room first? We just have a moment.
Oh, sorry, you picked that because the headphones went on. I didn't think
I
you
would
guys
have thought
had
you
to
left
hear
your G-string on. But anyway, why do we show up? Why do we do this? And a lot of it's to pay the bills, and we do have fun. We have our laughs. We bring the energy. But sometimes, every now and then, we'd love to think, when we hang up the mic one day.
When we put the headphones up one last time.
When we push record for the last time, and our legacy is the greatest podcasters ever in the Pacific region. Especially New Zealand.
So it comes specifically out of Mount Eden, Auckland.
When we retire the cans, we'd love to know that maybe we help someone.
Absolutely.
So we put it out there.
That's not a joke.
I said, look, that's not a joke. We'll put it out there. Is there anyone going through anything at the moment they just want a little bit of perspective on or want some advice? And we got a range of queries.
Love that.
So I thought we'd start with our first voice this morning. Les Bush.
All right, so I've already talked to y'all about how my boyfriend, now fiance, we've been together since 2016. We have 2 kids together. Been through a lot. Well, he recently just asked me to be his wife.
Come on now.
Hey.
And he is super, doesn't want the attention, very shy, very personal, doesn't like people in his home, very to himself. And I am quite literally the opposite. I am way too trusting. Oh yeah, come on in, bring it in, whatever. I don't know what to do on how we should get married. And I know your first thing is going to say, well, sis, do whatever you want to do because it's your wedding. I already know. But do we
I didn't say that.
invite just our siblings to come with us when we elope? Because we're probably just going to get married in a courthouse. And then I would love to spend the money on a trip that him and I have never gotten to do,
Yes.
just us before we had kids. But I was thinking of inviting just our close friends that I know would want to come on a trip with us and respectfully piss off when we want to do stuff by ourselves.
I hear you.
But then come together when we want to. Or just do our siblings. I don't really love his sister-in-law, so I'll tolerate her.
Sister-in-law,
but we're
though,
also
that's fine.
celebrating 10 years next year. I turned 30. I graduated from college, and so we're probably gonna just throw a big party. So who do we invite to our elopement is what I'm trying to get at.
Ooh.
Or do we invite nobody? I just need a little bit of male perspective because Brad could care less on what we do. He's like, I thought we were waiting another 10 years before we get married. No, we're not. So yeah, any advice is appreciated.
Whew.
See,
There's so much going on in
this
there.
is the roller coaster that poor woman, that you. I don't know where. I don't know where we were on that. I thought that she wanted him to be there.
I was so confused.
And now she didn't care,
There were so many moving parts. Things are happening next year.
Sis, we're confused.
I don't like the sister-in-law.
want? What do you want?
What do you need? I feel like if you want to have that party, so one of the parts that I picked up on there, if you're going to do that family, friends sort of vacation part, maybe go you guys do the first part by yourselves and then the family or whoever shows up to the second part, or, you know, vice versa, so you get that time. It's always hard though, when you want to go on a group trip and then go do individual things. So get your part out the way, or vice versa, see the family and friends first and then go on your trip.
True.
The other 7 parts you're after though, I'll leave that to the boys.
That's what, Mark?
I would do the eloping part as private. If marriage and the idea of a church and pews and all your family celebrating that moment, you say I do, isn't something that's high on your priorities list, then by all means save your money. Like,
Facts.
You're a blessing to hear that, because there are a lot of people in my circles, they want that perfect moment where you're walking down the aisle and all that.
Which is okay if you want
100%.
that, have that.
If you don't want it though, if that's
Absolutely.
not high up on your priorities list, by all means go buy an experience and invite people to go along, but make sure they are well informed that you would like time to yourselves and that you are going to do a couple of things without them, and then by all means, you know, celebrate. I think for my wife's 40th, I organised Fiji.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, that's
There was
nice.
plenty of savings. It was plenty of savings. But what we did was,
I'm giving Fiji water.
her favourite people in the world, you know, and some of them weren't family members, some of them were friends, some of them were family, and then just there were times where we did stuff together and then we did stuff as a group. But so long as everybody was aware that was what was happening, and you created a whole different kind of memory, a moment somewhere else, you know, rather than spending all your money on the eloping part of things. So that's how I would play it.
yeah. I think some people are lucky. Well, I think there's 2 types of friends, like, and we know this with family and friends. There is, like, in a space like that, there are people that give to that space, and there are people that take in that space. And sometimes we don't get lucky. Like, some people have the type of family and friends, and it's like, man, if I put on a wedding, you know, they bring that energy to the event. They bring that energy to the moment.
Yeah.
And you know it's going to be elevated on top of your happiness. And then there's other people where you're like, you know that's just not the vibe. That's just not what they bring to a moment like that. And I think I would hope if you could, you know, have that question for yourself. Is there going to be people that I feel like I have to invite that actually, you know, if it's like that, keep all the money for yourself. Keep all of it for that trip when it's about you two creating your memories, you know, and your experiences, and just honestly do not feel the pressure to do nothing if it's going to be more people taking in that space and actually draining you and feeling like, are they okay? Do I need to check on them? And what's their energy like? Just quit all that.
Also, I'm not assuming that you haven't, but if you haven't had that conversation with your partner, have that conversation with him too. I was just go, this is how I'm feeling. I know how you feel. Can we find a common ground? If you talk things through, which Jordan's taught me well to do, is if you talk things through, obviously you can hopefully come up with a resolution that you both go,
One more thing.
This is it. Here we are.
Sorry to add on the back of what you were saying, Jordan. I don't think people realize just how important creating memories, positive memories and moments with your partner are.
Bro, hard.
Because
More so. Yeah.
because when you get into the weeds of life and mortgages and kids and things start happening and drama happens, being able to pull on those core memories of great moments that you've spent together, balance out the tough times.
There it is, Matsumak. I love that. That is so true. Next one. I'm going to read this out. How do I have my husband understand that long-time friendships doesn't always necessarily mean lifetime friendships? I only ask this because obviously me being a woman, I think differently. As soon as anyone mistreats me, my husband or our children, the boundary goes up no matter how long we've known each other. Hubby has had this one friend for many years. He was also the best man at our wedding. He never acknowledges me or our children's existence. Whenever we see each other, he constantly puts my husband in this uncomfortable position, and it always seems to be a pissed off wife is easier to fix because he knows I'll get over it than a sukilala mate. That's a deep one, I reckon.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Men's friendships are a little different. That's what I know.
Let's unpack that for her.
Yeah. So for me, I have an assortment of different friends, and some that have been lifetime friends that have, through high school. So we've got memories and we've got things that have happened between us. They're not negative things, but they're things like, and I think I apologize away for some of the shortcomings that my wife would see in my friends, because I see that as a warm, it's like, that's just him, man. That's what he's always been. He's always done that. But I also know that I have a duty to my family. And I have a duty to my wife to make sure that it's an even, it's an even keel. But sometimes you can't, sometimes friends that you've had since you were 7, I've got friends in my life who are still friends with me, and real close friends that I've had since I was 6, 7 years old. And, that kind of friendship, and they've gone in their direction and they've got their personality and they're completely different to who and what I am and where I was back then. So sometimes I find that making sure that both sides understand that, hey, I need this from you, brother, because my partner ain't into that. And then from her, I need this from you, because that's who he is and that's what this is about. I don't like being in between the middle. I don't like that feeling of being in the middle, and I'm not going to force you to appreciate these things that I've known about this dude for forever.
Yeah.
But I'm sure we can all get along here.
Yeah, sometimes you have to have that hard conversation, and the conversation might not actually be with your partner. It might be with the guy, with the best friend. You always kind of skip that. You go, no, we'll work it out here, and hopefully, if I have this conversation with my partner, then my partner will have that conversation with him, and we'll this triangle will be able to sort it out. Where sometimes you just have to go direct to the source, which is excuse my French, but it's a shitty conversation to have. But sometimes those conversations can be the thing that hopefully you and this person are, your common interest is your partner, and that's the best thing that you guys can have going forward. And so then there isn't this sort of toxicity between the two of you. And maybe he doesn't know how you feel, and you haven't had this conversation with him, and how does he feel about?
He might be able to adapt.
Yeah, some type of way. And that's the hardest way to go about it, though. Sometimes, I didn't marry that guy, But sometimes when you marry someone, there's branches off that tree, and you have to kind of be able to climb all of them. So, not like that though, That sound like But maybe have that conversation with that person directly.
100%. I think, and this doesn't go for every male friendship. It's just a generalization, I guess. But for a lot of men and our friendships, we experience loyalty before we experience love. And so for us, and particularly for those that grew up with having boys and having that kind of trust and the life things that happen between you guys where you can say, nah, I could count on you and this is for life, and then we go and find our partners and experience and allow, that side of us to open up and find love. And sometimes what happens is there's a resistance to always have to explain, because it's this part of me happened here and I know he's got me. Now I'm over here, and these worlds aren't meeting. But to give this lady some advice, I think it's okay for you to have a boundary in your guys' relationship, because I can tell you really care about your husband, and you want him to, as you perceive, be appreciated and loved and cared for the way that you think he should. So maybe something that could be easier for you is to have a discussion with your husband and say, I really care about you, but I acknowledge that this is a friend that you've done a lot of time with and you have a relationship with, and you have his back and he has your back. That doesn't mean I have to have his back though. And maybe if it's okay, certain, if there's unmissable moments where I have to be there, because I love you, I'll do it. But where I don't have to be there, I'm not going to be there. You guys can hang off and do your thing, but to not be acknowledged from him, and I don't know the context, but if I'm taking what she's saying as word, then that would need to be a boundary for her, and that's fine, But sometimes when you say that, you kind of just acknowledge it, and go, okay, I need to think about that.
Let's not get our defensive walls up. Don't be,
you're not just telling me what I need to do, and not considering that.
Yeah,
we're brothers, I just have another one quickly. There's so many, so we'll do these over the next few weeks. I just moved to Australia and gone through a bit of a traumatic breakup. I feel lost and alone here. I work in architecture and I have a good job, but I'm unhappy and don't feel passionate about the work I'm doing. This type of message came through a lot around mahi, around work for people struggling in their jobs. Good job, and I'm unhappy, don't feel passionate about the work I'm doing. In fact, I almost feel morally upset because of the type of work I'm doing. I'm still very passionate about my field, but I don't feel fulfilled in my current role. I always wanted to learn how to make fine jewellery too, and other various crafts like this. Financially though, this isn't maybe such a sensible option right now. I don't know, it's a bit of a drabble, but I just feel really lost. Safe versus passion. They always say the grass isn't greener on the other side. I know my situation and will be making it worse too, so I feel scared to make hasty decisions. I'm only 23, 24 in August, so I know I have time, but also I'm scared I'm wasting time. Any advice from those who survived the growing pains of their 20s is so welcome. I know I'm privileged to be here, but perspective would really, really help.
Oof.
20s, eh?
20s.
Yeah, 20s, man.
That's funny because when you say wasting time, no time is really wasted as such, so long as it's used as lessons, right? Like so long as we're gaining things from it. And maybe this perspective is a collaboration of collection time in the job that you're doing, in the role that you're doing, and in the career you're in. But I've always been a passion chaser. Like I've never taken a job that hasn't been something that I've been either passionate about or know that I can grow into something. So for me, it's probably why I don't roll around in millions, or you know what I mean? Like I'm constantly hungry and I'm constantly trying to push forward with things because passion has always been so important to me with what it is that we do. And I feel like the podcast in general, the three of us had to, as much as, you know, the jobs that we were in weren't necessarily available for all of us, the idea of being able to flick over to do another show or doing something else was always there. The real risk was that we all took, that we risked and we bet on each other, that we would all stay focused, that we'd all stay in it. And I look at people who do podcasts in general as just individuals, and they're out there grinding and doing their thing, and some of them have quit their jobs to focus in on this. And in our little circle and industry that we work in, it is the risk takers, and some don't succeed. But they all, you know what I always find? Everyone ends up on their feet, and they find it, but they don't. Nothing scares me more than being in the last few days of my life and going, "Oh, I should have given that a go."
What ifs?
The what ifs, man. There's more what ifs, and I can't advise you on your situation, but I can only give you what I felt and where I've been and how it worked out for me. For you to go, okay, cool. Well, I could take that bit of advice, or I could do this and that. For me, I'm always about making sure you follow your passion.
Yes, so true. I always believe like your late teens, early 20s, maybe even to your late 20s, it's like such a space for you to make mistakes. Give things a go, try things, learn from them. And not just when you get to your 30s, like we're still making mistakes as we're
Every day.
trying this.
He just had his
I
undies
had
on
my
his
undies
feet,
on my face,
you know?
you know? But this is my passion. This is why I've come to it. But I have to agree with Mark, like, because you'll also be 23, and I hope you're listening to this, who doesn't just this person, but you can be 23, not really love what you're doing, and before you know it, you're 33. You know, this thing that we call life, it happens so quick. Like, I look at Winter, he's 3.5 now, but in my head, he's 6 months. This life thing happens so quick, man. And to Mark's point, do what you love and love what you do. And I know it's very cliche, but you won't work a day in your life. And it can feel like a grind, but man, if you can find that thing that you love and you wake up every single day and you're like, yeah, man. And going to Jordan's point yesterday, like I'm living my dream right now. I kind of forget sometimes that I'm living my dream, but I'm living my dream right now.
Reflecting on that, like, I actually, after that chat yesterday, I was like, this whole thing we're doing, this isn't my dream. Like, it's not, I never had this, none of us had this dying wish as we grow up and all that to be podcasters.
Mine was to be in the NBA.
But exactly, but the amount of purpose that we've landed on to wake up every day and like what the love that gives us, you know, like it's part of that. I think the way this girl's described her message, you know, has a deep sense of feeling in the world,
Yeah.
and her responsibility to it. And this person who's messaged, don't feel like a failure because you feel those things. Like, those are things to feel. In your 20s, though, it's the building phase. It's a phase where you're more and you have a manager you don't like. You got to go to a job that people have an ethos that you're like, man, when I get there. But guess what? For this girl, you're going to get there one day. And you're going to get to be the person, and you're going to get to create the art and the buildings that you want to make, you know, if this is what you choose to do. I also heard someone on a podcast recently say, in a job, how you know, the only way you should look at it is you should only be able to do two things, earn or learn. If you're not earning, but you're learning, stay in the job, because they're going to be transferable skills that you're building on. If you're not learning, but you're earning, you're able to pay that rent, you're able to go out and have a nice dinner, you're able to, like, you know, pay your bills on time, then see it for what it is. If you're not getting either, you should that's when I think you should make a shift, you know. So I hope that helps.
Can I just say too, on learning learning doesn't have to be learning a new skill set. Learning can be learning yourself well enough to hang in something,
very true,
to stick to something, to, even though you're super frustrated, still be able to work through it. Like, learning comes in so many different facets. Don't just see it as like face value, oh, I learned how to upload this today, or I learned how to do that. Sometimes you can be teaching yourself how to hang in something, how to stay with something, how to communicate with a boss you don't like.
Yes.
All these skill sets you don't realize you're doing, but you are. And they will all add up to reps that when you do make that next step, you'll be like, oh, this is easy. I used to have to work with old mate, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah, and just to add to that, I do see so many people, you know, as soon as there is, because a lot of people message about their jobs and how, like, you know, working in companies where, you know, the management's terrible and all of this, like, that's most likely going to follow you anywhere you go. Like, it's really hard to find a job, and from top to bottom, you're looked after, you're cared for, your well-being. So you still got to learn how to
navigate.
You know, how do I navigate this bot and it not, I don't take that energy home with me. How can I experience it here? But, you know, how can I communicate? How can I probe? How can I work myself? So there's, what you're saying, Mark, is so true. There are reps to be done in learning, that aren't just specifically detailed to the job. 3 tin asses.
I still got no undies on.
Guys, we'll do this over the next few weeks. Thank you for everyone who wrote in, and also just some of the more vulnerable ones that reached out.
Yeah, dope. Me.
We love you guys. We'll get there. Let's push.
But these are some cool messages that came through, and I hope we can sit in this for a moment and go, yeah, it's pretty cool. So I chucked the question out there on our socials. It was earlier this week, and it was, what's the kindest thing you do for others that they might never see?
Ooh.
But and when I say, and I think you saw it too, Jordan, we
did.
were inundated. Like, I got to be honest with you. I'm sorry, and we appreciate you taking your time to send through all these messages. I couldn't get through them all. But what a beautiful, wholesome, I guess, community to be a part of, that, you know, everyone is so willing to help other people out. So I want to play out a few of these. We've got a couple messages that we can read out as well. But what is the kindest thing you do for others that they might never see? Here's our first one.
Hello. One cute thing that I do is when I go to the cemetery to visit my grandparents. I have 2 sets of grandparents at the cemetery, and when I go, I put flowers obviously down for them, and then I put them around the 2 either side of my grandparents, because you never know when or if someone will visit them, and everyone deserves flowers on their grave. Let's push.
That's so
Bro,
beautiful.
how cute is that, eh?
I want to
Yes,
be a human like that.
I've never thought of doing that either, but now, you know, sometimes you just gotta hear the idea and go, oh yeah, I can do that. So when I go visit my gran in Levin, I promise the people sitting on either side of her, I'll bring you flowers as well.
I'm the type that I would take the flowers and just take one flower out of the one that I got. Just put
Put over there. That works
that's
too,
beautiful.
though.
That's beautiful.
That works too. Let's keep it rolling. What's the kindest thing you do for others that they might never see?
When I was in high school, a few of the boys come over one weekend, and one of them brings over one of those magazines, and like, yeah, whatever. But I did make the assumption that he would have taken it home with him. A couple of days passed, and I'm outside, and my mum belts my name from the front door, and I'm just like, hey. So I head into the house knowing that I'm in trouble for something, I don't know what. But when I go inside, I see my mum and dad on the table, and I see this magazine, and I'm just like, yo, well, where was that? My mum's like, it was behind your drawer. And then the questions of, whose is it? Where did you get it from? And I'm just defending the fact that it's not mine. But my dad looks at me and goes, whose is it? And I know if I said my bro's name, he would never be allowed in my house again. So I just took a mad deep breath in, looked my parents in the eyes, and I just pretended like that magazine belonged to me.
That's
Patrick
brothers.
Warren. Yeah, short bro for helping me getting the telling off of my wife.
That's brotherhood.
That's brotherhood, all right.
Fuck.
Because I'm snitching. Oh, brother. Mom, that was Patrick.
100%.
There's Patrick's magazine, actually.
100%.
I don't know where that came from, what that is, but Patrick did that.
That's real brothers right there.
Facts. That's real brothers. Should we read out a couple?
Yeah.
Okay, you go first.
I don't know about the kindest thing I've ever done, but when I used to cook for my ex, I used to always give him the nicer looking food, lol, and set his plate very neatly compared to mine. He didn't even realize. But that's nice.
Oh, that's so nice. There was one that came through and it was like so similar to that. It said, when I cook for my partner, I give him the better steak because he deserves it. Oh,
I give me the best steak
every time.
because I cook.
Every time. Bro, without a doubt. Oh, there's such nice
Are we
people.
bad
out.
humans?
I hope to think not, but maybe.
This one got me. I thought it was very mature. Anon, please. I'd hate for them to know this, lol. I've prayed and still pray for some of the great men, in brackets, exes, I've been able to love in my short lifetime. Before I had my family, and I hope they're all happy in their hearts, wherever they be now on their own journey.
Oh,
Wow. The maturity,
the
gang.
maturity, all right.
The maturity, gang.
I hope that person has a sense of freedom, though. Like,
Yeah,
you know, that you have that.
I think you can be capable of all that.
Absolutely. This one said,
Not me? Nah.
my partner works away in the mines. We currently have a 6-month-old, so he's really been missing his milestones, and I know it breaks his heart. So when he comes home and he sees some things for the very first time, I act surprised. I act like it's the first time he's rolled over. It's the first time he's ever done anything. And I see the joy in his face. I've done it with a few milestones. My partner gets overwhelmed, but it is so, so worth it.
That is so beautiful.
The acting must be on point though. Like, you know, it is beautiful. Sorry.
That she
Baby's looking like
queen right there. That's queen. Honestly, adjust your crown, queen, because there's a lot of diamonds on it. Heavy.
facts.
That is beautiful.
Baby's like taking
Wow.
first step, but baby's walking straight
Being
across
walking
the
there,
lounge.
mum's
Like,
talking that way.
"Whoa!"
Wow.
That's beautiful.
That's cool. Though.
It is. It is. Me and my wife, we have a very small hot water cylinder, and we get home very, very late from work. And I use a bunch of excuses to let her have the first shower before me, so I have the cold one, and it's not her. Kings out there,
These are the
baby.
stories.
There's
All we're hearing
kings
is
out
about
there.
you cheating and this and that and that, bro. What about these stories?
As well and truly alive.
Hot cylinder stories.
Oh, that's love, though.
That's not funny.
Bro, that's love.
Yeah,
Bro,
that is
that
We're
love.
doing this,
Good
Chef
for
Nation.
the heart too. Good for the heart. You know, cold showers.
Because I know he's never said that.
He's in there.
It's not a thing you talk about. You just do it. Nah, I was going to have dinner, you know. I'm going to get something from the car. You go.
You do your thing, baby. King. What's the kindest thing you do for others that they might never see?
Kia ora. So the kindest thing that I do for others that they might not see is I carry my loved ones' birthstones with me almost everywhere I go. So I have this little pouch and it goes into my handbag to work, overseas, out to raves, just so that despite the distance, I have a little piece of them with me always. And they have no idea. But yeah.
I want a sibling.
I wish I loved my siblings that much.
Did she say out to raves?
She did say raves, but
Yeah.
no, I'm not, you know,
I'm losing it. I'm not losing my siblings, though.
I'm not asking any questions.
Right. That was these people are great.
Oh, they're so lovely. I got a few more.
No, I love it. Keep going. I'm feeling the fuzzies.
What is the kindest thing you do that people might never see?
Whenever I see emergency services such as like police, fire or ambulance rushing off to a job with lights and sirens, looking pretty serious, I always pray for them. Like I pray for the patient, the family, the situation they're heading into. It could be scary stuff or pretty serious stuff that they're usually going to. Anyone can do it, no matter your belief. Start with a dear God, put your request in there and say amen. And yeah, watch the rest happen.
We'll take up offering after that.
Amen, all right.
We'll take up offering after
Chef
that.
Nation, we doing it. We got good people, man.
I'm donating after hearing that. That is beautiful.
I've never thought to do that. Are we bad people?
I mean, we got
got
goodness,
others-
just not as much as these guys.
That's so beautiful, man. One more. What's the kindest thing you do that people might never see?
Mine is I'm the first to get into work every day. My coworkers don't get in until later. And when I first started, everyone would complain about our cleaners not doing a good enough job, and it would hurt me inside because I come from a long line of cleaners. Heck, even as a child, some of my earliest memories was going with my grandpa to clean buildings in Auckland City, and I saw the way they treated him. It's almost been a year since I've heard a complaint about the cleaners, because before I start my 8 hours, I clean the parts of my office my co-workers are very particular about. I don't do it just because of guilt, but because it's genuinely the only part of my day where I feel connected to my grandparents. Perhaps the kindest thing that I can do today is not only remember their sacrifice, but to honor it.
Oh my days.
Who's got tissues? Right.
Service, humility.
Oh, there's some beautiful people out there.
We're pieces of shit, bro.
I have to agree with you.
That was so beautiful. To honor his grandparents. Oh. Sacrifice.
And to do it in silence. Oh, Chef Nation, I love you guys. I freaking love you.
Unlike these people, I wouldn't say what I do because I don't need to, let anyone know,
Can I just preface?
I'm actually humble. Just throwing that out there.
That's such a good point.
That's my list. Boom. Like, damn. You would never know. Get to heaven and that's how I'm getting in. I'm telling you. Dang.
I should have prefaced at the very start. Thank you for reminding me. Not one person sent that message in without me going, yo, can you voice memo in?
Yeah.
Everyone texted through, yo, can I be anonymous? I don't need people to know about this. I had to kind of beg
But like
for
me
people
and
to send
Brook,
that in.
this is to share, to inspire all of us to look to do stuff like this, right?
Absolutely. I'm going to be a good human this weekend. Only this weekend, though. Come next week, I'm back to
Why have
being
we
me.
left Matomaka there? You're a too. Well, you don't just get to sit over there and not be coupled in with this with me and Brook.
No. But there were certain things that I could definitely relate to, like the meat thing. Selecting the best piece of meat, that is wild. I definitely don't do that.
It's so easy, though, right?
But
You should.
no, you want the dish to look beautiful for the one you love, and then you just take the leftovers. There's times where I don't even get the meat.
Okay, I'll do that for content. I actually don't take the best steak. Brook actually takes the best steak, but it's only him in winter. You know what I mean? So why should Winter get the best steak? That's how I
You
think.
don't even be eating it anyway.
Anyway, it's
I'll
not
be
about
taking
us. Well, that was so beautiful, Shift Nation.
And shout out to everyone who sent messages through. There's so many. Maybe we'll do that again in a couple of weeks or something, but we love you, Chef Nation. Have a great weekend.
Yes. And
Shout out to Kai for coming in on the show.
love Kai, Future World Champion.
Facts.
Check on your people. We'll see you next week.
Peace.
This is The Shift. The Shift.
Go home, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go home.
The Morning Shift.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
The Shift.
I love you.
This is The Shift.
Got him.
Okay.